Alrighty, what's up everybody? It is I, your tribal god of the stream, Peter Joseph here, once again, for video number 2 on your hot and steamy Thursday evening, June the 12th, 2025. Thank you all for watching once again, right here on the Peter Joseph YouTube wrestling channel, youtube.com/Peter Joseph. Make sure you like the video, hit the subscribe button down there, you know where it is by now, in my pants, otherwise known as the description box below. So subscribe to all my channels, all the links are down below in the gobbledygook. Also, follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Share the video all over the internet. Don't forget to tap and slap that bell, turn on all notifications so you don't miss the next one, because if you do, well, fuck you, man. You missed it, and you can go fuck yourself. And if you're brand new here, well, welcome to the party, pal. We hope you enjoy the ride. Sit back, relax, grab yourself a nice bottle of Sprite tea, or whatever you got. Sit back, relax, and enjoy that, enjoy the show. And if you like it, great, you know, fuck off. Sorry about that. You spaced out for a second. Alright. So if you like it, great. You know, fuck off. And don't forget to subscribe. All the shit I just said. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we got TNA coming up at the top of the hour on Access TV. So it should be a pretty good show coming off of Against All Odds. And now on the road to Slammiversary in a month from now. So, see what happens tonight with Trick Winnie Shalom. Trick and A tonight. We'll see what happens with that. And a whole lot more on TNA. But before we get to that, it is time for your late and out-of-date AEW Summer Blockbuster Review. And from last night, June 11, 2025, Dynamite and Collision, again, belching your cranium. No, 4 fucking hours of this show. And I really think they need to stop this madness. I mean, last week it was alright. It was sort of crappy, then it was like just, it was okay. There was a few good matches, and then like, oh, end the show, please! You know. But this week, a couple of good things, but the shows were bad as fuck. So let's get into it. Let's not waste any time. Alright, so we're at the theater, a lovely theater, of the Clouds at the Moda Center, not the Motor Center, Moda, M-O-D-A Center, in Portland, Oregon. And as always, our commentary team of the man behind the mask, Excalibur, the biggest Met fan I know. He's not too happy about Senga getting on the IL, but it's Taz. And the man is pretty damn boring himself. That's Ian Rickaborn. And Tony Schiavone doing whatever he does. Alright, so, main part of the shows was Will Ocean Spray, Reach for the Sky, woohoo, bam, and Swerve, Part 2 Electric Boogaloo. We're going to start with that on Dynamite, we'll get to that in a second. And Kenny by God Omega, and Kata signing their contract for a winner-takes-all match at All In for the Intercontinental title and the Continental Breakfast of Champions title to now form the unified title? Ha! I thought it was going to be called the Global title. Now it's going to be called the AEW Unified title. The fuck is that? Tony Khan, you been snorting again? Blah. Title looks like shit, by the way, too. Kind of has that old school AEW women's title, not the new one now, but the old title. That kind of has like New Japan title-ish feel. The way that looks, I hate the look of the new this AEW Unified title. Should just called it the Global title. They don't want to do that. Dumb. By Tony Khan, man, and company. Alright, so let's start this shit. I got nothing else to say about this. Anyway, so we started with Christopher Daniels, the Fallen Angel, telling Hangman Adam Page You can't do some cowboy shit. You can't fight the Death Riders on your own. And he says, I have some friends who can possibly help you if, you make some amends with some people. Swerve. And a few others. So Adam Page's like, yeah, I'll think about it. And then he heads into the arena, and we see John Moxley dressed up as a janitor. And then the rest of the Death Riders, Claudio, William Yuta, and Marina Shafir, they go right after him. Well, that's not going to sit well with the Hangman, but we'll see what happens with that. Alright, so we got the commentary desk opposite the hard camera, which was kind of cool. The entrance is this way. Hard camera's going this way. Commentary's going this way. Alright, so we get that. Alright, so we started off with Ocean Spray and Swerve. Part 2, Electric Boogaloo. This was great. Prince Nana, my good buddy at ringside. Just amazing match. Lots of flippy-dippity doos. They're kicking out of everything. The house call, Stormbreaker, who even freaking Tiger Driver 92. It was insane. Even Swerve hit Deadeye at one point, but Ocean Spray kicked out. Then at one point, Swerve did something really nasty to, Ocean Spray went for a charge, hidden blade in the corner, and he missed completely. Hit the second turnbuckle, and it looked like his shoulder and neck were like, ah! And I think Paul Turner, Swerve was talking to Paul Turner, I think it was, and he's like, my shoulder! I think he broke his shoulder, or something. And he still continued the match, and then Swerve goes right after that shoulder, and he hits some type of, I think it was some type of throw or suplex off the top. That's going to make it even worse. And then, Ocean Spray teased the Tiger Driver 91. Swerve counters that into a vertebraker or a gringo killer. Bang! Oi. I was like, shit, where's Homicide when you need him? He's retired, but we don't know that. Blat! So, Swerve kicks him out to the apron, loads up the Swerve Stomp on the apron, then the time expired, the 30-minute time limit expired to this great match, which I gave 4.5 out of 5 stars, and then after the match, Swerve's like, no, I want sudden death. Well, we don't get that because the Death Riders come out, so Ospreay can't even answer the challenge. They surround the ring, then the Young Bucks, Matthew and Nicholas Jackson, come out to jump Swerve. Then they handcuff Swerve to the ring ropes, and then they get their Nike shoes with the thumbtacks on it. So they're about to really kick Swerve's face off. But then out of nowhere, Ocean Spray comes in and takes it full on. He took the bullet for Swerve. And man, he was bleeding like most in the beginning of the match. I don't know how, maybe it was a bloody nose or something like that. But man, he was gushing after that. I mean, it felt like Candice LeRae all over again in PWG. Shit, she got hit and she was gushing. I mean, gushing, and it wasn't period blood either. Holy shit. Yeah. So Ospreay takes it right in the mush, and then then the trainer comes in, and then they finally get the key to get Swerve out. Swerve's like, what the fuck happened? And then you see, Doc Samson with the towel all over Ocean Spray's fucking face. And you see, blood just, pouring out the other end of the freaking towel. Nastiest shit I ever seen. Ugh. Alright, so we get that. So, a 30-minute time limit draw. I would love to see this again with a no time limit. But we'll see what happens with that. But like I said, 4.5 out of 5 stars for that. Alright, then we go to the back with Lexi Nair and her guest, the Continental Breakfast of Champions champion, Kada. He's about to talk about, the contract signing with Kenny coming up later in the show. But he gets cut up by that bald idiot, no, not Ricochet, Don Callis, who thinks some of his guys, like Fletcher, the Catcher, should be facing Kenny at All In. And then Okada's like, Like, he got offended a little bit, and then the rest of the family come in, and Okada's like, bitch! And then he left. Didn't even need Don Callis. You know? He's just boring. He just needs to go. He's boring. Feels like Cyrus the Virus all over again in ECW, and it was just so fucking annoying. Him and the network. Remember that shit from TNN? Yeah, we don't know it. Alright, there was the MVP showing us the Hurt Syndicate attacking Commander earlier in the day, taking his mask essay, so now we know what he fucking looks like. Kinda. Even though he's on the back of his head. So, the Hurt Syndicate hurting people and taking masks. Good shit. Speaking of masks, we have our second match of the night. Mystico, otherwise known as Sin Cara, takes on Blake Christian with Lee Johnson. The match was boring as hell. Mystico wins with a super Spanish fly. At least you give credit to my mentor, Joel Maximo. So that's, big ups to you there. But yeah, match stunk. 2.5 out of 5 stars. Then the Hurt Syndicate come out. MJ's like, well, Mystico, now I will face you next week on a 2.5 hours of Grand Slam Mexico. And Collision's gonna be 2.5 hours on next Saturday night. Nobody cares. So we get that match next week. And for one night only, MJF's gonna bring out the American gimmick, the Patriot gimmick when he was the All-American International Champion, or the American Champion when he won it from, who did he win it from? Ocean Spray? Okay, and Ocean Spray won it right back. Alright, so we get a big American flag and a whole bunch of fucking streamers who saying Ring of Honor, dude. But, Mystico says, I'll see you next week in Arena Mexico, ese pedo. Then he says some more stuff in Spanish, like, oh, you pendejo, vato loco, stuff like that. So MJF then says, well, you're just a sloppy Sin Cara. You're just a second best wannabe version of sloppy Sin Cara. So that set off Mystico. They brawl, and then the rest of the Hurt Syndicate come in, beat the fuck out of Mystico. But then Jet Speed, which is Speedball, Mike Bailey, and Kevin Knight, they come in with Mascara Dorado somehow for the save, and that's it. It's like, where the hell is Hologram? Yeah, where is Hologram? Why couldn't he save his boy, his good buddy Commander? Where's Alex Abrahante's at? What was he eating a taco in the back or something? I don't know. Alright, so we got that. So all that I gave 2.5 out of 5 stars. Alright, that leads us to a 6-man tag team match. So we got MJF and the AEW Tag Team Champions, Shelton Benjamin, and Bobby Lashley. They take on Mascara Dorado and Speedball Mike Bailey and Kevin Knight. MVP on commentary, and he gets involved near the end of the match. I think it was, who was on the top? Mascara Dorado was on top, trying to, for a splash. And then MVP got off commentary, hit him with that walking stick, and then MJF beat him with some type of package DDT. It almost felt like Rampage by Page, but we got that. Alright, so yeah, and then afterwards they take Mascara Dorado's mask now. Shit. So they're taking masks and everything. I mean, it's just crazy. Alright, let me get my notes back. Okay, we go. Alright, where are we here? Okay. Yeah, they beat down Mascara Dorado, they take his mask, and then Mystico comes back to make MJF tap to La Mystica, that, salt of the earth type Fujiwara armbar. So we'll see what happens next week. I hope Mystico wins. I'm going with MJF to win and probably take Mystico's mask. Not that we want to see Sin Botch without the mask. And how embarrassing would that be in Mexico? That'll be sacrilegious. They'll want to kill fucking MJF. Nobody take my mask, I say. Alright, so we'll see what happens with that. Alright, there we go. I think it was to, no, we were supposed to get the Hangman Adam Page coming out for a chitty chat, but he gets jumped by the Death Riders on the entrance ramp. And they beat him down, they duct tape his mouth, and I think his arms too. Before taking him to the ring, and then John Moxley apologizes for everything in advance, but wants a real conversation. He's like, this is supposed to be your time, all in is, everything is for you. So Mox is like, I don't like you millennial cowboy, and you've been searching for something for a very long time, and in 4 weeks you probably may be able to get that if you step up and be what you're supposed to be, or you can get the fuck out of AEW, basically. So, Adam Page got mad, and he tries to lunge at Mox, but he got beat, 3-on-1 beat down again. And then the Ops come out, the entire Ops, I think we saw Shibata, obviously Samoa Joe, Powerhouse Will Hobbs. I think we saw Hook somewhere. Hook was there, maybe he was, I don't know where he was, but he sent for the man! Hook! Stop eating those Doritos, goddammit! They're very tasty! I know, Mick, I have a box up in the fucking pantry, leave me alone. I don't want one now, leave me alone. I'll talk to you later, okay, fine. Give some to Mikey, he likes those Doritos. Not that Mikey. Not you, Mike Awesome, I know, you're yeah, I know, we have the same name! Technically. Well, yeah, Mike. At least Mikey Whipwreck, you're Mike Awesome. But you're better than him anyway. Yeah, I kicked that guy's ass in many times in ECW. It wasn't even a challenge. So, yeah, Mikey, go eat your Doritos, you fucking prick. Hey, Mike, calm down, alright? You don't have to get so wired all the time. Calm down. I'm sorry. I just get wired up, I try to calm down. I'm trying to do what you say, Mr. Gilmore, but, Joseph, I'm sorry. I keep getting your name mixed up. I'm trying to do the right thing and try to calm down my anger, but I'm just so awesome. I gotta just let it out. I know, Mike. Just calm down. And I won't talk about that guy anymore, okay? You know who he is. Don't say his name! I'll kick your ass and put you through a flaming table! Ah! I won't say his name, Mike, anymore, okay? Don't you say his name in the comments either! I'll fuck you up too! You'll do it too! Okay, calm down, Mike. You want to say goodbye to your fans? Bye! Okay. Even you four-eyed bastard! Bye! Okay. Who is that guy? I don't know. But anyway. Alright, so the Ops come in, and they come in for the save, and then Adam Page gets on the mic, and he goes, I will walk through death to kick your ass and get the title! I bet you nothing we're going to get a Texas death match. Bet you nothing, because Adam Page is pretty much undefeated in those matches. I think Moxley won 1 or 2. I know he had one with Lance Archer and almost died in that match. But I think Adam Page is pretty much undefeated, I think. So I bet you nothing we're gonna get a Texas death match in Texas. And I think Adam Page probably will win the belt. I hope. If not, it's probably gonna be either Dark. It's not gonna be Freshly Squeezed Orange Juice, Orange Cassidy we haven't seen in like months. I think the only saving grace for AEW right now, if Moxley wins at All In, is probably gonna have to be Darby Allin. Who else is it gonna be? And Darby won't even know when he's coming back. Could be at All In, it could be never maybe, but who knows? We'll see. Hi guys! It's me, Darby. I just want you to know that I live in my car. I'm from Seattle. But I was in Portland, Oregon. I was just checking it out because it's so fucking emo. It's such an emo city like Seattle. I did it for you guys. I climbed Mount Everest for you guys. I didn't die. I love you guys. I'll see you soon. Bye. I'm so emo. That guy. Well, so we'll see what happens with that. Alright, moving on. Alright, then we get to a women's tag team match player. We have Megan Bain, the Megasus, and Penelope Ford teaming up against a reunited TJ, Ty Mello, Ty J, whatever you want to call it, Ty J, Tomato, Ty Mello, and the woman with a fat ass and a bad attitude, that's Anna J. Match was meh. Anna J, with the Queen Slayer on Megan, which left Ty Mello to hit the Ty KO. 1, 2, 3. So they get the win in their reunited reunion, I guess. And it is what it is. Match was alright. 2.25 out of 5 stars. Alright, then Tony Baloney. Oh, well, before we get that, we got an epic video package for the Kenny Omega Okada series. 4 times they met in Japan. I think they're, not at 2, so All In will pretty much be the 5th and maybe final match between these great guys. So we saw that. That was epic. And then Tony Baloney's in the ring with the contract signing. We get the new look. The AEW Unified title, and it looks like shit. So Okada signs the contract. Kenny talks about it's been 7 years since we had our last match. I think that was at, It was at Dominion 2018. No, the G1. I think it was the G1 of 2018. I forget. But anyway. So he wants both of them to leave it all in the ring at All In. So Kenny signs. They shake hands, which you rarely would see from them. And then Don Callis comes out. And he wants one of the guys, Fletcher, to catch her in the match. Kenny's like, I've beaten all of them already. We need to stop this bull crap, getting back in the line. This is going to be me and Okada. And then I'm like, oh no, Okada's not going to join the Don Callis family. And what does he do? The heinous act attacks Kenny from behind. Hits him in the ribs with some steel rod that Don Callis gave him. And then they put Kenny on a stretcher. And then they're about to wheel him out. And then Okada from the apron with another elbow. And he hits Kenny. Kenny's on the floor. Blood and blood is just spewing out. I'm having fucking nightmares of Javon Evans when Ethan Page broke his jaw. Woo! That blood was like, jeez. And then we get an update. We didn't really get an update on Kenny. He went to a local medical facility. He went to the hospital. Probably has broken ribs, internal bleeding. He is fucked up. So probably get a update next week on the program on Grand Slam Mexico. And that's that. So that's it for Dynamite. Which Dynamite wasn't that bad. I mean, Ocean Spray and Swerve was great. Everything else, meh. So I gave Dynamite 7 out of 10 stars. And that's that. Probably nothing really to say about Collision other than the Paragon and the Dancing Fool, Danny Garcia. They got the win. I forgot who they're facing, but they got the win. And then now we got a 12-man tag team match because everybody came out beating each other up. Like Bandito came out. I think Templario came out. Everybody was beating each other up. Now we got a 12-man tag on top of Anarchy in the Arena. Again! Between, Team Moxley and crew. I don't know, without Gabe Kidd, I think. And Team Swerve and Company. Well, we don't know yet because of what happened to Mr. Ocean Spray. I mean, so we'll see what happens with that. And, we move on from the lot. Alright, so I'm going to try to read off a little bit. Okay, now I got Collision. Okay. I had to go to my other notes. Alright, so we started with Timeless Tony Storm, Darling Bosom, comes out in a freaking, looked like a, she was on a bike that almost like Walter. Luther was pedaling. Christopher Daniels says Adam Page that you can't trust the Bucks. But you don't have that. Oh, that was, I'm looking at the wrong thing, so. Oh yeah, I was right. Alright, so we start the show off, with Mark Briscoe. We saw him on the show. Oh, that was on, okay, that was on Dynamite. Let me just get my notes back. Where are we here? Where are we? I don't know. I'm trying to find, I have my notes all mixed up on I have different tabs on my computer. I'm trying to find it. Where is it? Okay, here we go. Alright, so we started off Collision with Adam Cole, baby! on commentary. And the first match was Kyle Fletcher, the Proto Star, with Lance Archer. Everybody dies. He's there with, well, Don Callis, I don't think was there. But anyway, he takes on Anthony Bowens, the 5'2" player, with Daddy Ass, Billy Gunn. Just remember, ladies, as always, every single night, we have to scissor. Scissor me, mommy ass! Alright, this match was decent, nothing great. Fletcher, got in the face of Adam Cole a little bit. Adam was like, you want to fight, motherfucker? You don't want to mess with Chugs. Leave him alone. We're getting to the end of this long match, 11.5-minute match. Bowens goes for the mollywop, but Fletcher takes a break on the floor. Then Bowens goes up top, cross-body block to the floor. And then Lance Archer hits Billy Gunn with a big boot to face, sends him into the barricade. Ow. And then Bowens looks kind of like, huh? What did you do that for? And he eats a big boot from Fletcher. Then he hits the teardrop, bling, buster, a la certain guy we know named Ishii. Not Ishii, it's Ishii. 1, 2, 3, Kyle Fletcher gets the win. Match was alright. 2.5 out of 5 stars. That's that. Alright, then we get a video package about MJF as the American hero. Not the greatest American hero. That was a great show, by the way, in the 80s. Believe it or not, okay, I'm not going to sing that song. Great show. Great theme, too. One of the best themes of the 80s. So we got that match. Just a hype video for their match at next week at Grand Slam Mexico. Speaking of Mexico, we got the legend Carlos Cabrera ese. He's in the ring. Legend from CMLL. We always basically, if you haven't watched Lucha Libre on Channel 41 or 47, you have not heard his voice. But Lucha Libre, Telemundo, Corazón Excelente, Rey Mysterio, Psychosis, Eddie Guerrero. Eddie, you remember Carlos Cabrera, right? You know that guy. Oh, that guy's a legend, but not as legendary as me, yes, pero. Well, I think you're on the same level there, Eddie. But he's a legend like you. I'll give you that. Anyway, so he comes out, talks about the collaboration between CMLL and AEW. Nothing comes to his mind better than introducing a star in the business who has done everything. He's a legend in CMLL and Mexico. So he brings out Atlantis Sr. with his son, Atlantis Jr. They come to the ring. They're all ready to go in their gear. So I'm like, oh, great, we're going to get a tag team match. So let's talk about the historic collaboration, again, between CMLL and AEW. And who better to talk about it than this guy, meaning Atlantis Sr., but then Stokely Hathaway, that idiot, and FTR, they come out. Dax the Axe Harwood and Cash got a clock! Wheeler, everybody run! Cash Wheeler's got a gun! Cash Wheeler's got a gun! Somebody give me somebody get Steven Tyler on the phone. Okay. Anyway. And so it's like, did I hear legends? He says, the only legends are in this ring. Blah, blah, blah. They said they took out the Rock and Roll Express. They took out Nigel at Double or Nothing, you bastards. They turned him into a pill popper. Really now? Come on. He's been taking melatonin, hoping he dreams he can go back to 2009. Really? Come on. So anyway, he says Danny Garcia is contemplating retirement, and the OnlyFans might drop any day. Wait, Danny Garcia's doing OnlyFans? I don't want to know that one. He's like, where's Adam Copeland? Hey kids, it's Edge. You know what Edge is doing? Sitting at home on his ass, doing nothing with his wife, Beth fucking Phoenix. That's all he's doing. He's hanging out with Beth fucking Phoenix and their lovely kids. That's all he's doing, watching TV. Becoming an old fart because he's still 50-something years old. Stay at home, Edge. He's like, his brain is sizzling like a fajita plate from Chili's. Chili's, baby back ribs. Where's the Dark Order when you need them? Remember when they used to do when on BTE, they always got Chili's? That was fun. I missed that, man. I miss Brody Lee, you great man, you. I said hot sauce, you idiot! with the paper. Tony and Johnny Hungy. You can't get enough of that, man. It's so funny. We miss Brody Lee. The Exalted One standing next to Bray Wyatt. Follow the buzzards. Bray and Brody Lee are having fun up there. I mean, it's amazing. We miss them dearly. Anyway. Basically, there's only one thing left for them to do, was that to get the CMLL tag team titles. So then, they talk about that, and then they get into a big, humongous brawl. Yeah, they basically get into a big brawl. And then the Don Callis family come out with Chaselo, Bandito, Templario, and then Mascara Dorada come out. And then, Brody King of the House of Hell! He comes out. Everybody goes berserk, and then all hell breaks loose, and then Atlantis Senior and Dax are left. They fight to the floor and into the crowd. Like 70-something-year-old Atlantis Senior going into the crowd. Can't even get over the fucking barricade. I'm gonna teach you, Sonny! You kick this asshole guy! That's the first time I've seen that, but anyway, it was funny. So that's how the 12-man tag came out, because later on, with the Paragon coming out, they all come out again, and then 12-man tag. Thank you, Tony Khan. Anyway, get that. Alright, then it's time for the CEO. Mercedes Moné, she comes out to another private table with her 5 titles, because she won a title in, another title in Europe. I think it was the EFW title, women's title, or some shit title. Some trinket. Who cares? And then she has, like, another, I don't know what she has. She, looked like mashed potatoes, asparagus, some type of collard greens, or whatever it was. And I think another big, juicy steak. I don't even think it was cooked properly, because it was so pink in the middle. Holy shit. I mean, where are these things? Where is she getting these things from? Applebee's? Who knows? Who cares? I could go for a big juicy steak. Not now, but I'm not eating that tonight. But I'm having chicken tonight. I feel like chicken tonight. Like chicken tonight. Yeah. Sorry. Alright, so we get to Timeless Tony Storm taking on Julia Hart with the lovely Sky Blue at ringside. They take her out before the match, and then Aubrey Edwards, you savage, she's like, Sky Blue, you stupid bitch, get the fuck out of here. So, kick Sky Blue out, and then we see, like, Luther trying to fan Tony down, and Mercedes is, like, taking pictures with, doing live Instagram photos and taking pictures and shit, putting it on her Instagram page and Twitter page and shit. She's all happy, it's a great hit. But anyway, get to the match. The match finally happens, even though after, Tony was, like, knocked the fuck out. But anyway, she comes back, she gets the win. After she tries for Storm Zero, Julia with a backdrop, and then Julia goes for another moonsault. No water in the pool for you, Missy. Tony moves and pins Julia with her big package. Huge package for the win. So we get that. Match was alright. 3 out of 5 stars. And then after the match, Mercedes comes in and she sniffs Tony's hair. Looked like about to have some HLA action. I like some of that. I'd like to get involved in that too. Should have been me. And then whispers something to Tony. Then she, beats her ass, and then my 4th amazingly hot Asian wife, Mina! I love you, Mina. She comes out, she's all happy, she clears the ring, and then Mercedes comes back in, as Mina's checking on Tony. He's like, you okay, let me kiss you. And then Mercedes comes back in, attacks Mina, you bitch! And then she poses with the AEW Women's title and tells Tony to kiss the title goodbye. I hope not. I want Tony to beat Mercedes so bad at All In, and then bye bye to all your titles. Don't ever hit my girl Mina again. That's it. All right, next he's in the back with another bald idiot, Rico Shit, still searching for people to work with him to get him, some gold around his waist. And then Blake Christian and Lee Johnson come in. He's like, hey, can we be a part of your group? And Ricochet's like, yeah, sure, and no. Says, there's still something missing. You guys are missing here. What's the point? And he goes, aha! God forbid he joins the Don Callis family. God forbid. But we got that. Alright, moving on. Alright, then it's, intergender 6-person tag time. It's the Funky Chicken Mark Briscoe. Reach for the sky, boy. Jay Briscoe! Alright, so Mark teams up with Big Tom, meaning Tomohiro Ishii, and the resident fun girl, Willow Nightingale. Bam! They take on the MXM collection, Mace and Monsieur. Along with Taya Valkyrie, who came out with her husband, Mr. Johnny Nitro, or Johnny Mundo, Johnny TV, whatever his name is these days. We got that. Then we see Chris Statlander watching Willow as she came out to the arena. Alright, this match wasn't anything to write home about. Willow gets the win for her team after a Babe with the Powerbomb on Taya. 5-minute filler match. Yeah, we got that. And then after that, after Fyter Fest last week, we see a promo from Chris Statlander outside the arena. Said she's not going to be talking about Willow anymore. She's kind of done with her. Should be about me. And then, of all people, William Yuta comes out and says, oh, I want to, they used to be friends back in the day with Orange Cassidy and Trent, and Chucky T and everything, BT and shit. Blah, blah, blah. He's basically telling her, trying to give her some advice, like William Yuta, the man that gives advice. William Yuta's the type of guy to give bad advice. So anyway, basically says, Willow, you don't need, forget about Statlander, forget about Willow, focus on yourself. If you ever need any advice, I'm here for you. And Statlander's like, right. So she goes to leave. She pushes past that idiot William Yuta, and then Marina Shafir is in her way, and they have an epic stare down. I'm like, So we get that. We move on. Alright, then we go back into the arena. We have the Beast, Mortos, takes on the Ring of Honor champion, Bandito Esse. This was actually decent. Not great, but decent. Bandito gets the win. Whoa. After my notes go haywire, my computer, as always, fucks up. I am getting a new one pretty soon. But yeah, Bandito wins, I think, with a fruit roll-up. Some shit like that. But in any case, he gets the win. Big, good fan. Oh yeah, Bandito wins with an Avalanche fall-away, slam. Interesting. So, yeah, we get that. So, a good match there. Alright, then, Renee's in the back, tries to get a word with Mercedes. Wants to know what she whispered in Tony's ear, but Mercedes like, I ain't gonna tell you. Blah, blah, blah. And then, the CMLL Women's Champion, Zusix, comes in and, basically accepts her challenge, bitch. So we got a CMLL Women's title match next week, it seems, at Grand Slam. God forbid she wins that belt. Should be 6 belts from Monet. And probably soon to be 7 belts from Monet. What, you Ultimo Dragon? Remember, he had like 9, 10 belts at one point, and lost them all consecutively. It was sad back in the 90s. But, alright, we get that. Alright, then we have Renee again. She's outside the trainer's room with Hangman. She's trying to get a update on Ocean Spray. Hangman's there, then the Bucks come in, and then basically the Bucks like, hey, we've got a clear path, we gave you a clear path to the title, we took out Swerve for you, all you have to do, stick the landing, win the belt, bring it back to the, to the Elite. So Hangman's like, I don't need you guys, stay out of my business, stay out of Ocean Spray's business, and stay out of Swerve's business, stay out of all of our, just get the fuck out. So he goes to leave, and then Nicholas says, it looks like we made him mad and he made his bed, now he's going to have to lie in it. So they go to leave, and then we see Prince Nana stick his head out the door, and Doc Samson's still attending to Ocean Spray, so all the blood's just going everywhere. He's like, hey, Swerve, did you hear all that? I heard every word. Ooh, cinema. So we'll have to see what happens with that next week. Alright, then we go to Thekla, that spider lady who creased me out. Takes on the one and only Queen Amanada. This was actually... It started off sucky, but it actually got good. I think we got another rep botch in this match. It just was weird. Queen Amanada with a double stomp off the top for a very near fall. Thekla reversed the Queen with a roll up for a near fall. Then she hits then she does the spider whack. Ah! And then a spear from Thekla. Then she locks in the death trap. And then the Queen just tapped out. So, pretty good match. You know, started off slow, but got better. But I did hear something like, I think Queen Amanada was all like really pissed off at Thekla after the match. Like something happened. He was stiff. I don't know. Maybe she had a bad day. Who knows? So yeah, we get all that. Let me move on. Alright, so we got that 10-man tag team match next week. We got the Death Riders and the Bucks taking on the Ops, Ocean Spray, and Strickland. Rematch of Anarchy in the Arena. Again, this time Anarchy in the Arena, Mexico. So we got that. Alright, then we got Lexi talking to Kip Sabian and the Ring of Honor TV champion, Nick freaking Wayne. So, Kip's like, hey, you know, they're asking, like, where's, so Nick Wayne's like, hey, where's Christian and where's my mom? So, where do you think they are, Nick? I mean, yeah, where do you think they are, Nick? They're in the hotel fucking. What do you think, you dumb fuck? You know, what do you think? Christian's laying down that pipe, if you know what I mean. Shit. Because, you know, as we all know, Nick Wayne's mom has got it going on. Yeah. Okay, so that's what Christian's doing. So we have a video from the Best of the Super Juniors tournament, which Nick did very well in, lost to Vegeta. Not Vegeta, Fujita. Not Fu and Vegeta fusing, that'll never happen. I'm never going to fuse with that Kakarot, you know. Blah, blah, blah. So Kip says Christian is proud of him, even his mom's proud of him. Even I'm proud of you, I'm your bro, you know, I'm a brother, I love you, man, so they hug. It was just weird. Okay. Blah, blah, blah. Alright, we go to break, we come back. Tony Baloney says they can't go any further until they talk about what happened to Kenny earlier in, at the end of Collision. We get a replay of all that crap that happened. And Tony says that Kenny has been taken to a hospital in the Portland area. The names have been signed, the contract is signed, but who knows where Kenny's even going to be at all in about 4 to 6 weeks. So who knows? Let's see what happens with that. Alright, then we get to, 8-man tag team match of the Don Callis family. Takes on the Paragon and Danny Garcia. And like I said, Danny Garcia and the Paragon get the win. After, Roddy wants a high-low on Josh Alexander. But Aubrey Edwards like, don't you do that! Anyway, and then, Alexander and Takeshita wipe out Roddy. And they get the win for the team. I thought the Paragon won, I'm sorry. So the Don Callis family wins this match. And then afterwards, we find out it's going to be a big, huge 12-man tag team match. And then you run down the rest of the card for Grand Slam Mexico next week. And then we're done. So, not a great episode of Collision. And overall, I gave Somewhat Blockbuster 6.5 out of 10. But let me know what you guys thought of the show. And that's pretty much it. Alright, I'm going to get to TNA. I'm already missing 20 minutes of it, so I'm going to go rewatch it and then catch up. And then probably later tonight I might do my TNA Ring of Honor review, depending on how I feel. But we'll see what happens with that. But until next time, my friends, check out my Spaceballs 2 big fucking announcement video. Oh, that's a video ago on this channel, so watch that. And then watch this one after that. But until next time, my friends, may the Schwartz be with you. Peace out, rock on and rock hard with your Kokut. I'll get my line right one day. But if you're not down with that, I got 3 words for you. Fuck you, man. And that's it. See you later. Peace.